Not very long time ago, I made a video on how to develop your kids' interest in studies. But a lot of people told me that, is studying everything, and do you want your kids only to study? And also, some people were sharing their experiences with me that their kid is not interested in life as such. He or she doesn't look forward to going to school or doing any kind of activities. Hence, I thought that I should make a video on 5 habits that will help your kids get interested in life, not only studies. Personality now, and that is also one of the values which will be given precedence in the next upcoming 10, 15, 20 years, which is sustainability. So I have written an open letter to both my kids' schools and told them that my kids will not be doing homework. In fact, if you are sending homework, then you may not be that great of a school. And now, moms, you tell me that how much did you score in your first standard? 90 mila tha. For moms who have boys as well, is some boys may like to dance, right? There is nothing wrong, and dance is not gender based. It's not that only girls should dance and boys should not dance. Everybody can dance, anybody can dance, right? Now, as a mom, what is our goal? Basically, my goal is that my kids will be happy and they will excel in whatever they do. So, our study is everything. We get up in the morning and we send our kids to school, and they come back from school. We are behind them on what happened in school. We check their homework. We help them do their homework. And basically, that is a very rote and a monotonous life for a mother as well as a kid. At least I think so. I have written an open letter to both my kids' schools and told them that my kids will not be doing homework. In fact, if you are sending homework, then you may not be that great of a school, because when is the time that my kids start getting interested in other things, other hobbies that they have, or just play or just watch YouTube videos and relax. I believe that other things also play a very, very important role in your kids' life, especially hobbies. Now you look at me. I was a very studious kid, but then whatever I learned apart from studies, like I learned knowledge about plants, I wanted always to be on the camera, which is YouTube. Plant is also a part of my YouTube channel. I used to go to a gymkhana and exercise every day. So I do weight training now as well. So whatever are the extracurricular activities that I developed interest in later became an important and integral part of my personality, and I want my kids also to do the same. And now, moms, you tell me that how much did you score in your first standard? 90 mila tha. Second standard, third standard, fifth standard, 10th standard. Has anybody ever, while talking to you or even while you were interviewing for a new job, asked you about how much marks did you score in your 10th standard? They did not, right? They asked you what are your accomplishments, and mostly I think that our accomplishments will come from the thing that we like, our interests, our hobbies, what is the external knowledge that we have. I have a lot of knowledge about Bollywood, and that also played an important role in my career, because I was hosting Purani Genes, where there was a lot of info about Kishore Kumar, O.P. Nayyar, Lata Mangeshkar, and all these old gems of 60s, 70s, 80s that enriched my knowledge as well. So, did this knowledge of the 90s TVs or old movies or all this Bollywood movies that I was watching and dancing on the tunes to go waste? No, it did not. So, allow your kids some amount of time to explore their hobbies is what I would say. So, the first thing that will help you and your kid take interest in life is to think about what he or she might be interested in apart from studies. Now, there are basically 3 things that your kids can do, and they have to actually check if they're interested in that particular thing. Okay. And even if after we are entering the virtual reality zone and all, these 3 things remain the same. First is sports. Okay, sports may be any kind of sport, and you actually will have to enroll your kids in classes and see if they are interested in swimming, they are interested in basketball, football, badminton, tennis, or any other things, like even chess, for that matter. You will have to ask them. First of all, you'll have to show them videos and then check what is it that they're actually interested in. Now my kids are going to this one sports class, and there they are actually taught the basics of movement, like how movement is actually important for your body. Now this is just the basic because they are just 5 and 9 years old. Later my older one wants to go into swimming, but I've spoken to a couple whose son was in competitive swimming, and he also represented India, and they showed me the entire picture of how a parent's life is when your kid goes into competitive swimming. I do not have that kind of bandwidth or the interest to put my daughter to a rigorous competitive swimming kind of a routine, or I don't want her to compete. I just want her to enjoy. So that's what I'm telling her. But if she grows up and tells me that, no, mom, I want to compete and I want to learn these kind of strokes and excel in this and that, I would be more than happy to provide that kind of an assistance. But that's what I'm trying to say. First, check what your kid is interested in. The first is sports. The second is music. Okay, music goes in very deep. Music means either composing music, that means learning a particular kind of instrument. In India, I think there are piano classes and guitar classes. Apart from that, I haven't heard any kind of classes, like there are no cello classes, or I think there are some violin classes as well. But sitar or tabla, these kind of classes are not very popular. Okay, so you will have to do a little bit of more research. Now, how will you make your kid understand what kind of an instrument they are actually attracted towards? Just select a class which is near your house. Like, there are guitar and piano classes near my house. So I enrolled my older one, and she's like, this is not something which I want to do. I just want to listen to Dua Lipa or Beyonce, and that's it. But my younger one wants to learn an instrument. So when is the right age for that? I will first enroll her in piano and guitar and see what she is actually interested in, because once they start learning one kind of an instrument, their world opens up to music, and musical abilities is something which I find really, really amazing. It's like that genius class which I couldn't achieve, but my kids can, and hence I would really want them to pursue if they are interested in creating music. Now, there is also singing, which is very, very important here. And my younger one wants to sing, and I'm so happy that she wants to sing. So I will not enroll her into these old school or Hindustani classical music, because if you take a kid to a Hindustani classical music kind of a class, they are not going to enjoy, because are you the one who's listening to Hindustani classical Sur and Rag wala videos? No, right? We are all listening to Badshah and Nazy and Divine and Dua Lipa and Weekend. So enroll them into English classical music and just see. Or enroll them into simple music classes where they're singing rhymes and latest video ka songs and stuff like that, to just pique their interest. Your kid will automatically tell you that, Mama, I'm not enjoying this class. Here, you don't have to push them and burden them that, no, you have to learn this and no, you have to do this. This was just an experiment. It did not work. Let it go. If they are not interested in music and singing, rule it out. There is one more thing which you can do, and this applies for moms who have boys as well, is some boys may like to dance, right? There is nothing wrong, and dance is not gender based. It's not that only girls should dance and boys should not dance. Everybody can dance, anybody can dance, right? So enrolling them into dance classes is also a great option. My kids just wanted to do time pass dance, and that's what they told me. They said that, Mama, we don't want to learn any kind of classical dance, but I was really interested in learning Kathak. But my mom enrolled me into Kathak classes very late. There were all these young kids who were doing better than me. I kind of started feeling weird and I dropped out of it. But that still is something which I want to learn. Kathak ta thai tata thai still excites me and it does something to me. So I would really want to learn that again, and there is no age for learning any kind of dance. So do this experiment with dance as well and you will. Now, there is a third and very important and the latest kind of classes which are also going on. It's called as creative classes. There are n number of things under this creative classes. There is drawing, there is craft, there are the science experiment kind of classes also going on. There is creative writing. There is also classes where you learn a bit about camera. You learn a bit about cinematography. You learn a bit about how to operate the camera, how to shoot on the camera, how to take videos. There are editing classes as well. And if your kid is interested in all these things, that's amazing because they can go in this field. And these are also some of the fields. Your kid can be a photographer, it can be a videographer, can be a DOP, can be an editor, can be a director. And these fields are not looked down upon at all. Like, during my time, people used to say, "वो film वाला बनेगा क्या? वो actress बनेगा क्या? वो actor बनेगा क्या?" Why not? If your kid is good in acting, or someone who wants to do something behind the camera, there is a lot of money in this field. So think in that direction and do not shun them down and say that you have to either become a doctor or become an engineer. Life is not so simple, or it doesn't go in this one direction of doctor and engineer. That's not what it is right now. Anything that your kid decides to become, there is a lot of money in that kind of profession. If my kids come up to me and say that I want to become a YouTuber, I'll be proud. They say that I want to become a rapper, I'll be proud. If they say that, Mom, I just want to start an ad agency like you started, wow, let's do it. So also approaching this situation and the approach in which you handle your kids also plays an important part in their outlook towards life. The last but not the least habit that will really help you and your kid excel in life is reading. Reading is very important because we can't actually travel back in time or travel forward in time or travel to another universe, but with the help of a book, it can really help you to travel to different dimensions, is what I would like to say. So reading can really change people's life. And today only I was just having a call with a library and they were saying that kids are actually coming up to us and asking for these book suggestions. That makes us really happy, and I felt almost emotional at that instance because I remembered the amount of time that I used to spend in a library, and those were some of the most cherished moments of my life. Going to a library, seeing so many books, smelling so many books, that gave me so much knowledge about authors, about the literary world, about who these people are. And later, after the internet came in, I started Googling all these people. And Sidney Sheldon, who was my favorite author, I used to think that person is a girl, but Sidney Sheldon is a guy. And he was quite an old guy. And he wrote amazing books. Tell Me Your Dreams being my first book that I've ever read and the favorite book till date. So reading is also important. And one more habit that I would like to add, because that's an integral part of my personality now, and that is also one of the values which will be given precedence in the next upcoming 10, 15, 20 years, which is sustainability. So being a sustainable person, understanding the earth, understanding this planet and what it needs right now, and you inculcating it and making it a part of your life will also change your kids' life forever. So this is one of the habit. I think it should be made a habit, right? So not using plastic or limiting the use of plastic. or starting a sustainable journey, starting recycling, or just starting composting will really change your life, because that will make your kid attuned with the earth, right? So he will, or she will start asking you questions like, oh wow, so how did life in 1960 exist? How did life in 1940, 50, 20 exist pre plastic era? They'll understand more in terms of plants. What are the plants which are good for our health, or they'll understand the difference between legumes, pulses, green leafy vegetables, flowering plants, foliage plants, because my kids know all these things now. What is the use of this plant? Is it just for decoration, increasing the greenery? What do plants give out? So I think sustainability is one habit that you should definitely inculcate and will change your and your kids' life forever. So, how did you like this video on 5 habits that will change your kids' life forever? Wasn't it interesting? I think we need to start thinking from a kid's perspective. Imagine yourself to be a kid, and how would you like to do all these things? That will really make us closer to our kids, increase the bond, and also increase, or what do you say, broaden the focus, or broaden the horizon of your life. You'll start looking at life as a bigger picture, as a positive picture, and that's what I all want you to do. Just change your thinking here and there, and life is always perfect. So how did you like this video? Let us know in the comment section below, and do not forget to subscribe and also share this video or this channel with a lot of your friends who are struggling in these, because a friend in need is a friend indeed, and I hope you are my friend as well. So it's a bye from me, and in the next video we are going to talk about studies. Yes, because studying is really important, but how to make your kids study, or some techniques which are scientifically proven to help your kid study. Bye.